Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Batholkus, and this is It Worth My Time, the Good Place edition. Welcome, everybody. And I just want to say, first off, before I start, thank you to everyone who signed up. I'm up to a little over 400 subs right now, which is awesome. Thank you very much for signing up. I'm hoping you're enjoying the content, that you're looking through all the back catalogs of stuff that I've got going on. And you could always feel free to, recommend things. People do all the time in the chat. So just remember sci-fi related, genre related kind of stuff. I don't tend to stray too far away from that kind of thing, just because that's kind of what I like, to tell you the truth. And sorry, you're probably going to hear Demon Children again because they decided right before I started up here to play outside, right in front there, or I should say in back of my place. So yeah, which is lots of fun. Let me get a little business out of the way as Penn is already doing there. Like, share, and subscribe. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button down there. You can hit the dislike button. I just ask you to go down below in the comment section. Tell me what it is you don't like. Give me some constructive criticism. Also, if you want to see when I'm going to be on live again next, you can hit the bell. It's only a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you of when I'm on next, but if you want to see when I'm on next, go to suspendedfanimation.com and take a look at my schedule. It's up there. I change it every Monday. I also mirror that same schedule up on my Facebook page, and I have a Facebook group page as well. So if you guys want to go in and post stuff and want to chat amongst yourselves, feel free to go there and do that. I have an Instagram. I have a Patreon page. I don't have any tiers set up yet on the Patreon page, and I have a Twitter. So there we go. So, is it worth my time? For those of you who doesn't know, haven't seen this segment before, basically, I've been asked by various people a long time now. Uh, People ask me, "Oh, is this movie worth my time? Is this TV show worth my time?" Knowing that 9 times out of 10, I've probably seen it. I probably haven't, quite honestly. Um, so I kind of figured it was a good excuse to do shows that I normally wouldn't do, or just isn't there to do on a weekly basis. There isn't enough to do on a weekly basis. The Good Place is one of those that I looked at possibly doing this as a review per episode, but I just couldn't. Honestly, the videos would be like 5 minutes long, 10 minutes long, something like that. Not even as long as a commercial break for the most part, just because there isn't enough there to per episode to kind of espouse on, I guess you could say. I could say, hey, that episode was great, or hey, that episode sucked, and that's pretty much where we'll be at. Yeah. So again, I am not going to be spoiling anything, even though I have a little spoiler alert sign up there, so it's not going to be happening. Dennis, are you the old man yelling, "Get off my lawn, you damn kids"? No, I usually turn on the sprinklers. Is what I'm the person that does that, Joe. So, and no, I haven't watched. I haven't caught up to this season yet. I actually have watched a few episodes of this season, but I haven't seen the entire episodes that have aired so far. And yes, the final season is airing right now. So it is on Netflix. It is on NBC. Originally, is where it would, they were putting it out on as NBC. They still are, but yeah, Netflix is doing it as well. So, what the hell is The Good Place? So, The Good Place is really about one person. Well, it's really about four people, but the main person is Eleanor Shellstrop, and this is played by Kristen Bell. And she realizes that she is dead, and she is in the good place. What's the good place, you might say? Some might call it heaven. And she's introduced to the good place by Ted Danson's character, Michael. He's an architect, and he's showing her this world that she is in now that she's dead. And she is going to interact with some other people that are there. So Chidi is one of them. That is supposedly her soulmate, because you get paired up with your soulmate in the afterlife. Tahini and Jason. And then also we have a character named Janet, and Janet is kind of a how can I say this? Almost like a replicator, like a Star Trek replicator. Whatever you want, Janet will get you. She can also tell you all kinds of weird facts, all that stuff. All you need to do is say her name, Janet, and she pops up. And you ask her what you want, and boom, she gets it for you. So now the whole thing is you're like, okay, well, that sounds kind of boring. Well, yeah, that would be kind of boring if it was just that. Eleanor realizes that she was a fucking horrible person on Earth. I mean, just horrid person. And realizes there's got to be some kind of mistake of why she is in the good place, because there's no way in hell that she earned those kind of credits to get there. And that's what this whole thing is all about, is about her realizing that she is a bad person in a good place, and how can she become better to earn that spot of being in the good place. And there's twists and turns. I'm not going to say what they are because there's some big twists, and especially at the end of season 1, you get a huge twist. And there's right now they're in season 4. And yes, Janet is amazing. We have a bad place as well. We know what the bad place is. That's hell, of course. And yeah, it's we get to see that as well. So that's what this whole thing is really all about. And so if you are a philosophy school dropout or even have a philosophy degree, this is the show for you. This really does delve into the philosophy, the morals of philosophy, if you will. And you also get into a little bit more of existentialism, what it is to be, what is the universe, kind of, what is death. And they kind of go over that just a little bit. It's an interesting show. And now, is it worth your time? It depends on the person, quite honestly. There's some really funny, smart stuff in there, as Viking Bitch just said, and original stuff too. Yes, but it might not be for everybody, to tell you the truth, and it might turn some people off. I can see that. Um, for me, it actually was funny enough and hit the right buttons for me that I actually like it. But can I recommend it to people? Yeah, like Morks. Morks says it's not for me. I can understand that. I can totally understand how that would not be for you. And some of the characters would be annoying. I mean, Tahini is pretty fucking annoying. So yeah, but the thing is, it's also about growth and changing. Can someone actually change for the better, or are they stuck with are you stuck with who you are, with how you grew up, how you are set in your ways? Can you ever really morally adjust, or are you doomed forever as to who you are? Is it a smart comedy? Yes, it is a smart comedy, Joe. Yeah. Growth as in girth? No, Morks. That is where you get the Swedish penis pump. That's not your bag, but supposedly. But yeah. So again, this is kind of an on the fence. Is it worth your time? If you are, if that kind of stuff, if smart comedy actually tickles your fancy, this is what you want to do. You want to watch this show. If it's not something that, if you just want something that's mindless chatter kind of thing and mindless sitcom, then yeah, this is probably not going to be for you. Even though it is pretty damn funny in spots. Well, actually not in spots. A lot of things here are funny. And you probably saw in the very beginning of the chat here, I said Jeremy Bearimy. There is a reference that is a reference to something in the Good Place, Jeremy Bearimy. I'm not going to ruin it for you because it is something that's just pretty damn nice and special. That's all I can say. I like the philosophy. I like Chidi a lot. Yeah. So Chidi is a professor of philosophy, a professor of morals, and he really kind of gets to the point in his life. They kind of all these different moral choices put basically froze him in place, and he could not make a decision. He couldn't make any kind of ethical decisions, and that's what this show is about. Do you sweat all the small stuff? Do you kind of just let it ride, or do you kind of go someplace in between on that? And that's what's nice about it, is it's not just stuck in one set of philosophy. You kind of have everything. It's a gumbo, a potpourri of different philosophies and different attitudes towards these philosophies as well. I kind of have to give them credit on this. They didn't just stick to one voice. They actually have a lot of voices in this, which is at times good for something like this and something with this kind of subject matter. Yeah. Yeah, it's all about being better. It's positive without being preachy. Exactly, Viking Bitch. I agree with you on that. And that's why I said I can't recommend it, but at the same time, I do recommend it. It all depends on who you are as a person and what floats your boat. And honestly, this is pretty much everything that I review. It all depends on your personal preference on things. Nothing's wrong about what you're watching, what you like, unless it's child porn, then fuck you. But that's what I'm talking about, TV show wise. Don't let someone berate you because you like, Supergirl, or you like Star Trek Discovery or something like that. Fuck them. If you like it and you're not hurting anybody, go and watch that shit. You know, I'm not going to be watching Star Trek Discovery with you, but I'll watch Supergirl. I fell asleep during it last night, but hey, I've got to watch the end again. Yeah. Yeah. Ted Danson is really good as Michael. Excuse me. I always thought this sounded good. Like I liked Dead Like Me. It's different than Dead Like Me. It really is. Yeah, if you love Farscape, good for you. Well, I don't wouldn't go that far, Viking bitch. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's got to be a limit someplace. I kid, you know that. But yeah, and the actors are good. I mean, Kristen Bell is she's one of my favorite comedic actresses. Fanboys. If you've never seen Fanboys, um, go and watch it. Quite honestly, it's about a group of guys that have a friend who's dying of cancer, and he's not going to get to see Phantom Menace, the first movie. So they decide to do a cross country trek to Lucas Ranch to break in, steal a copy, and watch it with him. And she's in it. She is kind of part of the group, but not really. She's the non geek out of that group, and that is an awesome movie. So, Movie Fanobi, Dennis's new segment. It kind of maybe sort of almost sometimes no love it, no occasionally boring, and mostly funny and perhaps worth your time. Sometimes, Movie Fanobi. But thanks, son. Holy mother forking shirt balls. So that's the other thing about the good place is you can't swear. So fuck comes out fork, shit comes out shirt, things like that. And that's also one of the nice little asides that kind of makes me laugh. Was yeah, you get so if you follow my Instagram at all, if you've taken a look at my Instagram, take a look at the Comic-Con photos that I took over the summer. And there's some buildings that they had a whole bunch of the good place stuff plastered on the buildings, and they had a lot of these mother forking shirt balls. Yeah. Carrie Dalton says, love the first 2 seasons. The first season flashbacks are fantastic. I haven't been getting the same warm and fuzzies so far this season. Well, it's their final season, Carrie, and I think they're just planning something, and they're kind of more getting into the minutia of it to wrap things up. The swearing being deleted may get on your nerves, but I thought it was cute. Actually, it made me laugh, to tell you the truth, Viking bitch. I'm usually the person who hates when people like the word frack. Fuck that. Say fuck. We know that's what you mean. When geeks say frack instead of fuck, in the real world, stop it. I mean, come on. We know what you mean. Just say fuck. You're not going to hell. You're not, you're not getting your mouth washed out with soap, all that kind of stuff. Just say fuck. Exactly. There you go, Marks. I knew someone was going to hashtag that at some point. Yeah. But it works in this sense. I mean, yes, if you're being forced, not forced, you're basically you unable to say the word fuck. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, what the frack? Fuck you. Sorry about that, Joe. Didn't mean it. Oops, messed up my hashtags. Yeah, you did, Movie Fanobi. You have a Frel bumper sticker. Is that what's Frel from? I only say it out of love, Joe. That's all. Yeah. I know what it came from, Viking bitch. I'm giving you a hard time because, yeah, you do. You just kind of tee me up right there. It's kind of like you said it and I have to spike it. That's a volleyball term, by the way, for those of you who don't play at home. So we have beaches here in Southern California. So it's kind of one of those things you get indoctrinated to. Yeah, Future Man, exactly. Corey Wolfhart and Laser. So all I can say is that, so is it a yes or a no? It's a maybe. It depends on what you like, quite honestly. Yes, I know that's kind of wishy-washy. I know that's middle of the road, but sometimes that's how these things go. It goes middle of the road sometimes. Penn says off topic, although it is on Netflix. But has anyone watched the new Paul Rudd show, Living with Myself? I'm wondering if it's worth my time. Penn, I was actually going to watch that. I just didn't know when it was on, to tell you the truth. And that might be next week's Is It Worth My Time? So, yeah. I don't want to know what you're doing down there, Movie Fanobi. No one wants to know that. Carrie Dalton says, I also usually like any show that does the afterlife as bureaucracy well. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Okay. So the chat is rapidly devolving, which normally happens. I was kind of surprised. Normally it happens on a Saturday. I know where it came from, Movie Fanobi. I'm just giving you shit. That's what I do here. That's part of my other job, is to give you guys shit. Yeah. Ugh. And with that image burned into my head, thank you, Movie Fanobi. If you like what you see here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, you're going to see at the very end of the video, there's going to be a video that pops up here that actually YouTube takes the all the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching, all the nasty videos you've been watching there, and they try and match it up with one video out of my vast video library, which is probably pretty easy to do. And they pop it up there for you to take a look at. If you like what you see there, hit the subscribe button. Up here is going to be Mr. Robot. No, Watchmen. Watchmen is going to be up here for you. I had to think which one was the last video I did because it was so far away. It was a day ago. Yeah. So Watchmen will be up there. And yes, hit that like button, like, share, and subscribe. And again, thank you to everyone who signed up. Like I said, over 400 subs now. That's awesome. I love that the channel's growing. I'm glad that people are actually enjoying watching what I'm covering here and what I'm doing. So, another new subscriber during this live stream. Nice. Very nice. Yeah. Thank you. 400 real subs. Really? There's only 4. Yes, it is over 400. That's right, Mufinobi. It's 406 now. Yes, I was at 390 just the other day. I was at 370 just before the weekend. So yeah, it pumped up really fast all of a sudden. Keep doing the do. I didn't. I bought them from Russia. Yes. Oh, I did not. Formula 409. Russian bots. Yes. The Privyet. Privyet, comrade. Privyet, Tovarich. Yes, that is that's my extent of my Russian right there. And Pizda. There. You can look that one up. I'm not going to translate that one for you. Those of you who speak Russian know what I just said. And probably are going, what the fuck did he just... Yeah. Yeah, I worked with a Russian coworker for 11 years, and those are the 3 words I got. I actually already knew Tovarish because of the X-Men. But, yeah. Where has Sasha been? I don't know. Maybe in a bunker someplace. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not her keeper. So, no, she's probably off doing school stuff. That's my guess. So, the only Russian I know is Boris. But I'm bummed. Thanks, Mufinobi. No, I don't think you made her mad. She's just, like I said, she gets busy and, no, Mufinobi. She just gets busy and dives straight into the schoolwork stuff and, surfaces when she does. Yeah. I'm not even going to touch that Marks because then I have to hear about it later. Because I'm pretty sure she's going to watch this one and listen to it or something like that at some point in time. And then I'll get a text message and, why are you talking about me on the air? And I just alienated a whole bunch of new viewers because I'm talking about something else altogether. So, what's going on? Tomorrow, I am off. It's a day of rest. Not really. I'm going to be working my ass off as usual. Thursday is going to be Feelings in Hallways. Feelings in Hallways, where I talk about all the DC CW shows that are out there. And for this week, I should say. And what was going on and what was good, what wasn't. It's mainly going to be what wasn't. And Friday is going to be Titans season 2. We'll see what happens there because we get Jericho. We're going to find out what Jericho is all about and what was happening with him. And then Saturday is Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I talk about the genre news of the week and any other genre stuff you guys want to talk about. It's a fun time. Come on in, join the chat. That's usually a fun time in the morning. And Sunday, we roll back around to Mr. Robot and then Watchmen. It's a double header Sunday. So Watchmen is only 9 episodes long. 9 episodes. Whereas Mr. Robot is 13 episodes long. So it's kind of funny. I started with 2 weeks of just Mr. Robot, and then it'll be Mr. Robot and Watchmen for 9 weeks. And then I will finish up with Mr. Robot by itself at one point. Possibly 8 too many. Yeah, we'll see what happens. The more I keep thinking back on the premiere of Watchmen, the more I'm not liking it. And it was good that I actually reviewed it when I just, well, actually, I watched that one first, then I watched Mr. Robot. So I did the Mr. Robot review first, and then I did the Watchmen review. So it was actually a lot better that I did it that way. And now that I'm thinking about the Watchmen and I've read some stuff, I'm like, yeah, I'm not digging that first episode. So is Westworld back after Watchmen? No. Westworld's not back until 2020, probably fall 2020. They haven't even started filming yet. Fanobi. They really haven't. Yeah. And yes, Watchmen is not planning to have another season yet. You're right. So yeah, we had a trailer. The trailer said 2020. That's all they said. Yeah. Yes, Mr. Robot is definitely bringing in the viewers. Excuse me. And I'm glad. I mean, I'm glad everyone loves Mr. Robot as much as I do, and that people are watching and people remember it. I mean, it was 2 years between season 3 and season 4. That's a lot. And you can really forget about a show, but honestly, I popped right back into it as soon as I watched that first episode, and I was like, "Oh yeah, okay, I remember everything," which is really kind of weird. Viking Bitch says that is dumb. Westworld should not be taking such long breaks. They did between the first and the second season. I thought that was fine, and I think they can do it again between this as well. I think they'll be fine. Yeah, good shows equal viewers. Yeah, I know, Joe. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get good shows in, and November 12th, The Mandalorian. Yeah. I'm not within reach of my book, but what I'm actually going to do on the website is post underneath the schedule stuff that's coming up and the dates for those, so that people can see what might be coming up there. Yeah. No more Tiny Lobos. Oh, come on. Tiny Lobo was great. I want to see a spin-off of that. Only VB can take such a long breaks and get by with it. Who are these others that think they can do such things? Yeah. Mr. Robot is a great show and easier to sell to a broader audience than say Legion. Legion was no slouch, Penn. That thing brought in a lot of viewers, and yeah, yes, it is a different show than Mr. Robot. It definitely is. But yes, and it's a different audience too. I have to admit, but there's a lot of crossover though too. And Legion is art. Legion again was a very divisive show. You either really liked it or you really hated it. There was no in between on those shows, and on those episodes, I should say. So yeah, Legion to me is just beautiful. It's one of those nice compact stories, and that's what I liked about it. I'm Counterpart as well. Counterpart just needed another season. It really did. It really needed another season. Pen Farm Girl says, I love Legion, but in the real world, they have no one to discuss with it. A few coworkers watch Mr. Robot. Yeah, that's the reason why I have this show, why I have this channel. Is, a lot of people don't get to geek out with people that they know. A lot of people don't watch the same things. Sometimes your coworkers aren't going to be into that Supergirl show that you're watching, or they're not going to be into Watchmen, or they're not going to be into Mr. Robot or Legion or something like that. And that's where YouTube comes in. You have a lot of different channels to choose from. I'm glad you chose mine. And that's what I want to do is it's a discussion place. So I go through a brief recap usually of these shows and then talk about it afterwards, do a review of it, what I liked, what I didn't like, and then talk to you guys too about it. That's why I have the chat up. I mean, I could honestly set up a camera and just do a recap review show on my own, but that's boring, quite honestly. I don't want to watch that. I know other people don't want to watch that either. They want to have a little bit of interaction. And that's what the internet should be a bit about, is, having a little bit of interaction. Not too much interaction. And especially now with Movie Fanobi, because we don't know where he's been. You know? Ah. Yeah. Why is no one talking about Sabrina the Teenage Witches? No. What? Her cat, Joe? Her talking cat? Yes. I got you what you're saying there, Joe. Although the wording was a bit, I'm glad I stopped where I was when I was saying it. Yes. Her cat does not talk in the show. In this new show, I should say. It talks to her, but we never hear it talk. I'm a respectful man of action, a gentleman. Sorry. Sometimes, Mikey bitch, I get to a certain point where I read ahead as I'm talking, and then I see where I'm at, and I'm like, nope, not going to say that word. I know where I've been. Well, before this devolves any further, so is it worth your time? Depends. Maybe you might like it, maybe you won't. You can always watch the first episode and see where you're at on that and see if you like it or not. It's well written, it's funny, it's smart, but it might not be for everybody. And with that said, thank you everyone who's joined me tonight in the chat, and thank you if you made it this far in the video. And thank you to all the new subscribers that have come on board. Hopefully we get to see you guys in the chat. Come on in, announce yourselves. Don't worry, these guys that are here normally don't bite. Neither do I. And we'd love to have you in here and discussing this stuff with us, especially in the Mr. Robot stuff, man. Come on in. If you guys want to talk about Mr. Robot right afterwards, that's awesome. And I know some of you might be on the West Coast, and I usually watch the East Coast feed, but if you can watch the East Coast feed beforehand, you're more than welcome. Otherwise, you can watch it as a video. That's cool too. So again, remember, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell if you want to see when I'll be on next, or take a look at my website, suspendedfanimation.com, for the schedule. If you're still on the fence about joining up, take a look at the video up here, or take a look at Watchmen up here, see what you think there. And until Thursday, I'm going to let you guys go. And thank you, everybody, again, for joining me. And I will see you on Thursday. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, it could be a motherforking mistake. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.